What is up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Hunter here from Film Nerd TV, and tonight we're doing something different since it is the end of the year. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. We are doing our top 10 wrestling matches of 2017. We had a great year of wrestling, and I've got two great guys here to talk about it. First, my co-host for Wrestling News, Alex. How's it going, brother?
What's up, everybody? Sorry we haven't been here in a couple of weeks, but it's been a busy time for both Hunter and myself. But we're back, and we're back at a good time. As Hunter said, it's the end of the year. It's time to talk about some of our favorite moments of the year, and in this case, as you can see in the lower third, our top 10 best and favorite matches of 2017. This is going to be a good show, nothing but positives to talk about here, and I am excited for it.
Yep, I am too. And our third man, Mark Borish. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. Talking about something that I really love and really do enjoy, love about wrestling, a good professional wrestling match.
Man, there is nothing greater than watching two guys compete back to back in a great match.
Or
two
girl.
guys,
or girl. Yes.
Guys, girls, or teams.
Yep.
My favorite type of match is a good tag team match. So.
Oh man, multiple men, which we have a few on our list. So here's how we're gonna do this. We're each gonna do our 10 through 6, and then we're gonna go 5 to 2, and then we're each gonna talk about our top pick. Now again, this is all our opinions. You know, you can have different opinions. You can say that one doesn't belong on the list, or it should be higher. But these are our opinions. But pretty much we're going to spend 1 minute on our 10 through 6, 2 minutes on our 5 through 2, and then our number 1 we're going to try to give leeway and try to give as much time as possible to really discuss why we love it. So, Alex, why don't you start with your 10 through 6? We'll go Alex, Mark, then myself.
All right, sure enough. So number 10 on my list, and I'm very sad to say it's the only women's match on my list, but it was one hell of a women's match. That is from TakeOver San Antonio, the women's fatal four-way between Asuka, Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay. This match, you had just really a showcase of why NXT's women division has grown and fostered some of the best talent that started the women's revolution. And in this case, you've got a perfectly told story. You've got Asuka, the dominant champion, undefeated up to that point, going up against the insane Nikki Cross and that dastardly duo of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, who played perfect team tactics during a fatal four-way match. Nikki Cross going insane, all three of them targeting Asuka right at the start, then just going ham sandwich on each other for the remainder of the match, and Asuka just at one point being like, fuck this, had enough, kicking all your asses, retaining the belt against the odds. It was just a great show. All right, number 9 on my list is going to be one that I've seen pop up on a few people's top 10 lists, other people saying they don't like it, but I love it. Goldberg versus Lesnar from WrestleMania 33. It was about 4 times as long as their Survivor Series match from 2016, but in that 4 minutes, 45 seconds, you got the best of both men. You got Lesnar's power and ring control versus Goldberg's power and surprising speed. You had a great Hoss match, which WWE, really, they have Hoss matches, but none of them are ever really that great. This one was fantastic. Had some great iconic moments to it. Lesnar jumping the spear, Suplex City on Goldberg, and Lesnar finally getting the win over Goldberg, a man who eluded him for his entire career, even though they've only had a few encounters. Just really cementing himself as the dominant beast of the company and really setting up the rest of his 2017 as a dominant force. Number 8, I've got the men's Money in the Bank match from Money in the Bank. SmackDown's roster, this was the perfect showcase for it. The 6 men in this match, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, and Baron Corbin, all of them bring in their A-plus game. Corbin knocking out Nakamura at the start of the match, then going right into the fight. Nakamura coming back 10 minutes later. You had great moments. Sami and Kevin once again trying to kill each other. Awesome standoff in the middle of the ring between Styles and Nakamura, hopefully setting up the WrestleMania match. Hopefully.
Please.
And the company taking a chance on Baron Corbin, yeah, it didn't pan out well, but the moment of, you got these 5 stars in the ring, you've got these 5 proven workhorses, and you're going to go with Corbin. you really are investing in the future. SmackDown really is the land of opportunity. It gave hope for the future. It didn't pan out, but at least in the moment, it felt great to see. And the match itself was just perfectly executed ladder chaos, and I loved it. Number 7 on my list, I've got the War Games match from TakeOver War Games. The fact that you've got these 3 units, Red Dragon and Adam Cole teaming up in a WWE ring, that in and of itself is still something weird to say. But as the Undisputed Era, they've been awesome, and this match proved it. They're going up against Roderick Strong and the Authors of Pain and Sanity. Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane. The pace of the match was perfect. All 3 leaders starting off, Strong versus Cole versus Young. That's a dream moment I thought I'd never see, and yet there it was in a double ring in a steel cage. It was amazing. The pace of the match was perfect. The timing of everyone coming out, the weapons being introduced, but it coming down to a technical masterpiece of the 3 leaders just going after each other to the throat to knock each other down, and who could stand up afterward. Really, War Games came back in a big way, and this was the proof of it. And just a hair above it, my last NXT match on my list for this list, DIY versus the Authors of Pain ladder match at TakeOver Chicago for the tag titles. Tommaso and Johnny, they really are the MVPs of NXT in the first half of the year. They proved it in this match by taking the Authors of Pain to their limit in a match format that they're not really meant to be in. But Occam and Razor show why they're the future of the tag division by just stepping up their game, being a dominant physical force in a ladder match. And that ending of Tommaso and Johnny, the fake out, are they going to split? Are they going to stay together? The lower third coming up as they're about to walk to the back, and then all of a sudden, Tommaso turns. Like, it's great storytelling, but it's after an amazing match that leaves you emotionally drained, then they hit you with that gut punch in the storytelling, and it just was so perfectly put together.
Great list so far, man. All right, so let's go into Mark's 10 through 6.
Okay, with sorry about that. With my number 10, this year's got a little bit of recency bias, but I love the booking going in and especially coming out of this match, and especially a match doing exactly what you want for these 2 people. You got one guy who's over and one guy who's on the cusp of getting over, but having a match that really gets the crowd behind them. Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream from the recent TakeOver event. It was a really good match, and like I said, without a doubt, I kept Aleister Black. That's how you get someone over, by losing. Aleister Black is over as it is, but you can't have him lose. And the Dream put up a massively great performance in himself. He won over the crowd in a good way for a heel to win over the crowd. And I just had to include that in my top 10. That was my number 10. Just because, it was booking wise, it was a fantastic match. Number 9, I hate that this is so high on my list. It needs to be lower, but like I said, there was a lot of really good wrestling matches this year. But it's Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. I hate that it's in my number 9 spot, but it was a fantastic. It's such a great match. I loved everything about it. Brock Lesnar was selling his ass off for AJ Styles to the point.
He stole the shit out of that calf killer, though.
To the point where even people backstage thought that he broke his ankle. And that's when you know Brock Lesnar's got respect for you. If he's able to sell his ass off for like that. And he gave AJ most of the match. AJ was in control of most of the match. And it was believable. Absolutely believable. Unfortunately, I had to stick it with my number 9. My number 8 is Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate from NXT TakeOver in May, I believe it was.
Chicago,
yes. Like I said, I was coming up with this relatively last minute, this list. But that match was another instant classic. But then again, just name a Pete Dunne Tyler Bate match, and you've got a great match in itself right there. But the technical wrestling from both guys, I believe they've had 3 or 4 matches this year, and this year was my favorite. And number 7 is the ROH ladder match from WrestleMania weekend, Supercard of Honor. The Hardys versus the Young Bucks. There you definitely had both teams giving it their all. And then, of course, you had the drama from the Hardys going into WrestleMania the next night and returning. But it was just also a culmination of a massive Hardy Boys Young Bucks feud. Who is the better team? Is it the past? You got the past, the present, and the future, with the Young Bucks and the Hardys representing the past, and they're both in the present, but it's also the past and future coming together there. Number 6 is another NXT tag team match. It's the NXT tag team match from, I'm pretty sure it was the Royal Rumble weekend, between all the Authors of Pain, DIY, and the Revival.
Oh, the three-way tag team match?
Yeah, the three-way tag team match.
Yeah, that was TakeOver Orlando. WrestleMania weekend.
No, not WrestleMania weekend. It was Royal Rumble weekend.
I can look.
I remember.
But
I remember that. I'm almost certain it was Royal Rumble weekend. Yeah, no, it was that tag team match. It's just like, that's the Authors of Pain were coming. They've been improving a lot, but with this match, not only were they able to hold their own against the Revival and DIY, technical and in the ring wise.
Mark, it was Orlando. It was.
Yeah, I checked it.
It was WrestleMania weekend?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was Orlando.
Okay, my bad on there. I'm just, like I said, I was coming off this stuff off the top of my head without really looking at it.
Yeah, no worries.
5 minutes. Yeah, no, it's just like, without a doubt, it was a phenomenal tag team match and like I was saying, the Authors of Pain, without a doubt, proved they've come a long way in 6 months. And it was just a great tag team match.
All right.
And here's my top 6.
All right, so I'll do my 10 through 6. All right, so starting out, I have the same 10 as Mark. Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black from NXT TakeOver War Games. Because I'm a huge fan of Aleister Black. And seeing him go up against Velveteen Dream, I was like, okay, I'm getting invested into the story. The match was phenomenal, especially with them just stealing each other's gimmicks and like making fun of each other, playing my games. And then at the end, that huge sign of respect where he finally said his name and the fans erupted when he said his name. I absolutely love this match. Hate that it's number 10 on my list, but, there's other matches I feel were better, but this was definitely a great match between two great competitors. Number 9, I have one that I think is kind of lower on Alex's list, the War Games match. Sandy, AOP and Strong, and Undisputed Era. Talk about mayhem. Killian Dane put up a match of a career right there. He was the MVP of that match without a doubt. But you had so many great players. You had Adam Cole always trying to escape the cage or stay on the top of the cage. You had Adam Cole do the elbow drop, and then you had a lot of great teamwork. In War Games, it's very important. But you had so many triple moves going on that would work so well. So I definitely had fun with this match. Number 8, I'm not sure if this is lower on your list, but I have AJ Styles versus Finn Balor from TLC 2017. Two of the greatest workers today going one-on-one. The match was a little short, yes, but for what they did in the time that they had, fantastic work. The crowd was invested in this match. I definitely think it should be in the top 10. Number 7, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar from Survivor Series 2017. As Mark pointed out, great selling by Lesnar, great respect by Lesnar because AJ kicked out of one F5. It took 2 F5s to take down AJ. AJ came so close to beating Lesnar, and at the end of the day, he just couldn't do it. His body gave out on him. Great storytelling in the ring. Great action. The fans were invested. So definitely number 7. Number 6, AOP DIY ladder match from TakeOver Chicago. again, great carnage. You had these two teams who really worked well with each other. The Officer Pain, when they first debuted, I didn't know what to think of them. You know, kind of a big team, kind of green in the ring, but they have improved so much since their debut, and this match is the pinnacle of it. They went in there with Johnny and Tommaso, and they had one hell of a great technical match and a great ladder brawl. All right, Alex.
All right.
You're 5 through 2.
All right. Well, my number 5 is one that both of you brought up a little bit lower on your list, but I have it a little bit higher. At number 5, I have Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles from Survivor Series. Part of the reason being that this match is a dream match to a lot of people. You've got the best pure physical wrestler in the world in Brock Lesnar, a guy who legit could break a man in half. But then you've got him scoring up against the best technical wrestler in the world and the best high-flying wrestler in the world, basically the best in the world, AJ Styles, a guy who can wrestle anybody. He could wrestle a broomstick, that old saying. But AJ is one of those guys who could wrestle a broomstick and have a 5-star match.
Yep.
And the respect that they gave each other in this match, I mean, the moment that AJ locked in the calf crusher, you legit thought that Brock was going to have his ankle broken.
Yeah.
Because that's the respect that Brock gave AJ after 20 minutes of fighting. But they played off each other perfectly. AJ's selling of Brock's power, Brock's selling of AJ's speed and agility, just the back and forth between them. And honestly, this was a match that really, up until 9 days before it happened, we didn't think we were going to get because of WWE's confusing, stupid, muddled idea of who should be a champion. Jinder Mahal, who, by the way, you're not going to see on my list. Honestly, though, the way they handled this match was just so well done. Brock and AJ put on a technical classic, a physical classic. Their match saved the Survivor Series card. And it made it something that you want to go back and watch time and time again. And when that match, I have watched it time and time again just to see how well they work with each other and how much they mesh with each other. Honestly, Paul Heyman said it best after the match in backstage interviews to Wrestling Observer and other newsletters. AJ is the best in the world, aside from my clients.
Yeah.
That was half kayfabe, half real. And that's exactly what it was. These two proved why they are the best in the business, why they are the champs, and why going into 2018, they are both holding those belts because they are the best at what they do.
Yeah.
Speaking of the best at what they do, I have this at number 4, and I have a reason why it's number 4. Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega 1 from Wrestle Kingdom 11. This match, to me, there's only really one flaw with it, and that is, to me, the wrong man won. Okada and Omega put on a classic. They put on a dream match. As Dave Meltzer said, it's the match that broke his rating system. It made him give them 6 stars out of 5. Like, what the hell? But what they did in this match is they took Japanese tradition. They started off with it, and then about 5 minutes in, you can see it. They just took Japanese tradition, curled it up into a little ball, and threw it into the third row with a crowd. And they wrestled a Western-style match, going to the outside, using table spots, using the entry ramp, and just brawling with each other. But it came down to the story of, can Kenny hit the One-Wing Angel? If he can hit the One-Wing Angel, this is over. And he couldn't do it. And Okada hit him with Rainmaker after Rainmaker, then a Tombstone, then a Rainmaker, then a Tombstone, and then a 4th Rainmaker to finally put Kenny down. Kenny endured so much during that match, but if he had have hit the One-Winged Angel, that would have been it. But the wrong man won. And that's the reason why it's a little bit lower on my list than a lot of people have it, because I think that was the time for Kenny to become the next big thing by winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. They dropped the ball on it. They did make up for it later, and I am going to get to that. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that match, aside from the wrong man winning, it was all the hype. Physical, great performance by both men, great selling by both men. It told a story through action, which is what you need to do in wrestling, and this was so good. Let's go ahead then, and actually, I'm going to jump to Mark and get him to do his number 5 and number 4.
Yeah, we're going to change up a little bit, or else we'll be done too quickly. But okay, my number 5. You want to talk about a match that completely saved a dead, I think it was like 5 or 6 hour pay-per-view. I think besides the opening match, everything else was completely dead and not worth going back to watch. The SummerSlam main event, the Fatal 4-Way between Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns, right? Yeah. I didn't know if he was injured or not at that time. I forgot about that. But that main event, you've got 4 horses just beating the crap out of each other. Like, without a doubt, you know what? I'm thinking right now, I don't think WWE's had a Fatal 4-Way that's come close to it. No, I really don't think they've ever had that. That was probably their best Fatal 4-Way. The only other one I can think of that was a Fatal 4-Way was Unforgiven 2000. But that's come close to it. But like you've had the 4 biggest, baddest guys just beating the heck out of each other, and not in a boring way. And the match went on for like 25 minutes, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
about 26 minutes.
Yeah, and you think that if you had if 4 big guys just going at it, it'd be boring, and they'll get slow and sluggish. It wasn't. It was great storytelling, and you kept everyone strong coming out of it, which is hard to do in a Fatal 4-Way. And of course, you kept Brock Lesnar the strongest, and you did set up Strowman. You wanted to see Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. So that's my number 5. My number 4 is Kenny Omega and Naito. Naito from the G1 Climax, the finals, the main event. Like that match was just freaking insane. Like you had the wrist, you had the scary table spot of like the pile driver off the side of the table in between the barricade.
Yeah.
You've had oh crap. I think was it a neck breaker? It was a neck breaker off the top. No, dragon suplex off the top.
Mm-hmm. A snapdragon.
Yeah, where you thought Omega broke his neck.
Yeah.
And all the back and forth drama. Who would Kenny be this 2-time runner-up, or would Omega do it for? Would like just a phenomenal Kenny, like without a doubt, 2017 was the year of Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, Hunter, let's take it over to you, buddy.
All right, so my number 5 comes from Power Struggle in 2017. It is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match as Marty Scurll takes on the Aerial Assassin Will Ospreay. Holy crap. If you want to talk about a great mix of high-flying ability, the strong style New Japan, this is the match you talk about. Both of these guys went in and just beat the living shit out of each other. And it was so entertaining. You had the spot where they were just standing in the middle of the ring, throwing elbows back and forth. Ospreay saying, "Come on, bitch, hit me harder." They going back and forth. Marty Scurll ends up winning by using the chicken wing. It was such a great match. And Power Struggle had a lot of great matches, but this one was one of the top matches for me. Number 4, from Royal Rumble 2017, John Cena taking on AJ Styles for the 3rd time for the WWE Championship. You want to talk about emotional. You want to talk about, back and forth great matches. You talk about AJ Styles versus John Cena. All 3 of them. Money in the Bank one was great. SummerSlam one was fantastic, but this one was a great ending. Because, yes, John Cena did gain his 16th title, and that's a very special achievement. But the way that they made AJ look so strong by having him take 3 AAs to put him down finally, with Cena just, holding the belt for the 16th time, and AJ coming so close on multiple occasions to try to win. So it made Cena look strong, and it made AJ look even stronger. All right, Alex. Let's do your 3 and 2.
Well, here's the funny thing. You guys have actually brought up my number 3 and number 2 matches. Number 3 on my list is Naito versus Omega from the G1 Climax Finals here in 2017. Now, the reason I have it at number 3, a little bit higher than Mark, though, is not only for the physicality in the match, not only for the great aerial display, but just the pure storytelling aspect of it. First off, if you know New Japan, you know that their heel stables don't often face off against each other. If they do, it's usually in multi-man matches. So the idea of the leader of Bullet Club going up against the leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón, and just the pure heat that both of them drew from the crowd. You've got Omega, who is larger than life across the entire continent of Asia and Japan in particular, versus Naito, a man who 4 years ago in that same building was disrespected after winning the G1. He comes into this with a point to prove. And what does he do? He comes out against the best wrestler in the world and proves that he's just that much better. He takes everything that Kenny has to throw at him and throws it back twice as hard. And that finishing sequence, when he finally hits the Destino on Kenny and finishes him off, gets the 3, and the eruption from the fans in Osaka that proves that Naito is the best in New Japan. He is their top star. He finally gets to claim that throne, and he's getting that shot against Okada in a week's time because of this match and because of the work he's put in. No disrespect to Omega at all, and what he's done this year has been phenomenal. But honestly, I think you can make the argument that really in New Japan, the hierarchy is 1, A, B, and C with Okada, Omega, and Naito, and you throw Naito into that list because of this match.
Yeah.
Number 2 on my list is a match that you brought up, Hunter, and you just brought up. John Cena versus AJ Styles from the Royal Rumble.
Wow, number 2.
This is the WWE match of the year, and a lot of people have it at their number 1. I have it at number 2 for reasons, which we'll get to. But the story being told in this match, all across 2016, since his debut, AJ Styles was that much better than John Cena. He was that much better. He was the new face that runs the place. He's the champ who runs the camp. Cena came into this match as an underdog. How often do you get to say that John Cena is an underdog in a match, for God's sakes? But you take what they did at SummerSlam 2016, you amped that up to 11 with the double-sized crowd in the Alamo Dome. They left it all in the ring, too. They didn't need to go to the outside. They didn't need to have a no DQ stipulation. They didn't need bumps, super huge bumps. They just did what they do. They left it all in the ring with a technical masterpiece. There's a reason John Cena has been on the top of the company for 15 years, and it's a match like this that proves it. Whether you love Cena or whether you hate Cena, he sold for Styles, and Styles gave it right back to him. That finishing sequence of him hitting him with the AA, and rolling through it with a victory roll to pick him back up, and hitting the second, definitively stopping Styles, and tying Ric Flair's 16 world title record. In that moment, I stood up. I wanted to applaud if it wasn't 11 p.m. where I am. I wanted to give him a standing ovation because the man earned respect that night. If Cena had walked away from the company at WrestleMania, like a lot of people rumored, that would have been the match that solidified his career. He obviously came back. I think maybe that was a big mistake coming back as quick as he did, but that's beside the point. But this match proved why John Cena is and always will be one of the best in the business, but Styles along with him. You had to have an opponent like Styles for a match like this, and much like his match with Brock later in the year, AJ gave Cena everything to work with, and Cena gave it back tenfold. This was just a technical masterpiece from 2 of the best in the business, and it was the best WWE match of the year.
All right, Mark, you're 3 and you're 2.
And wait. Since when? I think it's been the early 90s that Ric Flair's only had 16 titles. His record is like in the 22.
It's officially recognized as 16 by WWE.
16 world titles.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, by WWE. I guess they don't count a lot. But it just when it comes to my number 3, of course, it is the 6-star classic. The match that broke Dave Meltzer's 5-star match. But it just, hey, you think it's that? So it should be like my number one pick. No, we'll get into that for the same reasons, if you will, later. Okada Omega, the first one from Wrestle Kingdom. Hey, that was a 45-minute just back and forth. Just those two guys just beating the hell out of each other. And it set the stage for what was to come throughout the year for both guys. Omega, Okada, both guys definitely cemented themselves as the two best in the world. And this is really awesome for New Japan because, like, 3 years ago, everyone was like, wow, they're basing everything around Tanahashi. Like, they're basing everything around their old guys. We're worried for the future. We're not worried about the future anymore with Naito, Okada, Omega, Young Bucks, everyone. Sorry, those are the guys that are coming off the top of my head. But in all honesty, you really didn't know how the match was going to end. Was Omega going to win the title? Was Okada going to defend? Okada ended up defending it and successfully defending it, and without a doubt, a grand, fantastic matchup. But my number two match, just like Alex has chosen, John Cena versus AJ Styles. Going into the match, sometimes I can be. I can be the biggest John Cena character hater, but I also respect his talent inside the ring. Like, when the guy wants to and when he feels he's got something to prove, he'll have a fantastic match. And just like he did here, the John Cena AJ Styles match was an absolute classic.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, WWE's best match they've had all year. And to a point in the last couple of years, it's definitely one or two their top three matches that they've had in the last few years. But yeah, John Cena, the finishing sequence, the back and forth, the leading up, the coming out of it, the booking was really great. And I do judge a lot of the booking coming in and coming out also. Unfortunately, that's why Finn Balor, AJ Styles is not on my list. The booking coming out of that match was absolute garbage, and it killed Finn Balor for a bit. So
yeah, but I mean, the only reason I had it so low on my list is one because it's AJ Styles and Finn Balor. For what they had, they put on.
It was a good match. It's just like the booking kind of affected it.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially 24 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. There's my 3 and 4: Okada, Omega, Wrestle Kingdom, and Cena and AJ from Royal Rumble.
All right.
What's yours?
My number 3 is was your number 2, Mark. No, it was your number 3, right? Okada Omega 1 from Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
What else can be said that these guys haven't said already? 45-minute back and forth classic. I do love how Omega was always attempting that one-wing angel. Could never get it. That was the whole story of this rivalry. He could never hit the one-wing angel because Okada knew if he hit the one-wing angel, it was over. I love how they put that move over as devastating. Kenny Omega kicking out of 2 Rainmakers. The third one, he probably just gave up. He couldn't give up. Just back and forth, brutal, technical, great match. That's my number 3. My number 2 might surprise people because I was hailing this as one of the greatest matches of 2017. But it's number 2 because one came out, and we'll get to that one. But from NXT TakeOver Chicago, the UK Championship, Pete Dunne taking on Tyler Bate. These two guys, both matches were fantastic. This one was better because it was on the big stage. NXT TakeOver. You captivated. These two guys captivated the entire audience. It was back and forth. They could have gone either way. The end sequence with him hitting the bitter end and immediately going to a pin to win the UK title. So back and forth, great match. That was my number 2. So let's go into some honorable mentions. Alex?
All right. I'll start us off here with the honorable mentions. I've got a few matches here, a mix of NXT main roster and New Japan, kind of like my regular list. Shout outs to Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler in the finals of the Mae Young Classic. That was an amazing tournament and a great match to cap it off and really show why women's wrestling has evolved in 2017. The New Day versus the Usos in Hell in a Cell. These two teams have wrestled dozens of times over the years, but they brought things to a brand new level in this match. Some of the spots in it completely inventive. A new edge from the New Day and a new side of the Usos were coming out of this, and it was just well booked. Minoru Suzuki versus Okada from the New Beginning in Sapporo. A lot of people forget this match because it was in the middle, sandwiched between the classics of Okada Omega. But the work Okada does in this match, making Suzuki look like a monster and yet overcoming him in the end, it was just really well done in my mind. Speaking of New Japan, I've got a comedy match I want to shout out. Kenny Omega versus Toru Yano from
Yes.
4. Kenny showing that he can work with anybody and make a great match. And if you're going to have a comedy match, Toru Yano is a guy you really should watch out for. If anyone who's watching has never seen that match, look it up. It's on YouTube. It's on the New Japan streaming service, the Access service. It's just a lot of
Japan
fun.
World.
New Japan World. I forgot the name of it for a bit. I also want to shout out the Raw Tag Team Ladder match from WrestleMania 33. I said this in the pregame, but I do want to highlight it because, A, it's got the best return of the year, and the Hardys shocking the world to come back to WWE at WrestleMania, and one of the best finishes of the year and well-shot finishes of Matt climbing the ladder to grab the belts as Jeff comes off a ladder on the outside, hitting the swanton on the bar through a ladder. It was one of the best spots of the year by far and one of the best booked matches of the year. All 4 teams came out looking great, but obviously the Hardys stood tall. And finally, as an honorable mention, I will put Styles v. Balor in my honorable mentions. The only knock I have against it really is we didn't get a build to this. Had we had a couple weeks build, this match could have been that much more epic. Yeah. The fact that we got it on a WWE B pay-per-view show kind of lessened the impact of this match. Had this happened at a Survivor Series or a SummerSlam, it would have been a little bit higher for me because of the crowd energy. But honestly, they still had a great match, did great work in the ring together, and that Too Sweet in the middle of the ring was just an amazing moment.
Yep. All right, Mark, go through your mentions.
Yeah, like I was saying, like just to piggyback on Alex, like, could you imagine if you could if they had attempted to build up with a little bit of the history. Mm-hmm. The first leader of the Bullet Club, or you could say the club, or just like they WWE does hint to the New Japan world, so you could have built that up a little bit, and then actually, without a doubt, that Finn Balor AJ would be absolutely fantastic build up because you've got the excitement, mm-hmm. and going in, and then with the whole and with match being great, you've got that. That was without a doubt one of my honorable mentions. Another one is, of course, the tag team Hell in a Cell match. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that it would work. The tag team match would work in a Hell in a Cell environment like that with these people, New Day and the Usos. I didn't think that they'd have the chemistry for a Hell in a Cell match, but you know what? They absolutely did, without a doubt. It was, I felt like this, at least in my mind, this is the only Hell in a Cell match that was on that card.
Yeah.
The main event, we don't need to think about it except for at the very end. With the big swerve.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, Shane McMahon, stay out of the goddamn ring. You haven't been good since 2001. And at least there you're young enough to actually take the bumps. And then also, the ladder match, the Authors of Pain versus DIY. Once again, another fantastic match. It just, like, unfortunately, like, it came down to that one or the triple threat team match to make my list. And I remember enjoying the hell of the triple threat team match. It was just so fantastic. And of course, Brock Brock versus Goldberg. I wanted to put it on my list, but it was the length of it doesn't really matter. But it was just like the length of it was absolutely perfect, but it was just a 4-minute match. It's a damn close to my honorable mentions to be put on there. The War Games match, just because of a little bit of the booking and the rules, kind of took me out of it. Like you guys kept saying, one of the main rules is you can't exit the cage or your entire team's disqualified. Adam Cole kept trying to exit the cage, or at least climbing up and risking himself to get disqualified.
I do like how he used that as like him climbing on the cage and trying to get away from the action.
Yeah, it's just like you wouldn't want to get yourself like completely kicked out of the match like that so easily like that. There was a little bit of booking problems with the match that I had with it. It was still a great match, just like the booking of it kind of hurt it a little bit.
Yeah.
And of course, my final honorable mention is, how can we go wrong with this match? Randy Orton. Well, actually two. Let's go Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Yeah, let's not think about that one. Okay, let's go with another Randy Orton match. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt again. House of Horrors.
Let's not
think about that. And of course, make it a trifecta for Randy Orton because he's had a great year. Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal in the awesome Punjabi Snooze Fest. Like, thank you for making me late for work because I wanted to see how it ended. And I waited 10 minutes for Great Khali to return, and then nothing ever come of it ever again.
By the way, Randy Orton, this is what the three of us think of your 2017.
Oh yeah,
please retire.
And it sucks for him because like he's a pretty good wrestler. Mm-hmm. Like he's really good, but it's just like a lot of times
got no place in the modern WWE.
Yeah, it's also you can tell he's very, very bored and uninterested in what creative has him doing.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, you can easily tell that's going on with him. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
All right, so I'll go into mine. I got a few of the same ones. Like I got Brock and Goldberg. I got New Day and Uso and the Hell in a Cell. But I got to shout out their pre-show match on SummerSlam. That may have saved the SummerSlam show. That was a very good back and forth match.
Also, can I just throw in one more honorable mention?
Yeah, go
ahead. Just really came to my head. The pre-show for WrestleMania. Probably the best, what I consider the best match on the entire card. Austin Aries versus Adrian Neville.
Yeah.
That was without a doubt the best match, and for the most part, everything was kind of downhill for me.
I thought you were going to say Gronk helping Mojo win the Battle Royal.
Oh, you want to talk about booking going nowhere? The booking for that went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, but we're here to talk about positives, though. We're here to talk about positives.
Yeah, positive.
I just wanted to really shout out Austin Aries and Adrian Neville from WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, that's a great match. Another one I'm gonna put is from SummerSlam 2017, the Shield versus the Bar for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. Probably the match that saved SummerSlam, except for the main event, in my opinion. That tag team match was back and forth. Either team could have won, and you end up having Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose winning the titles, which was a good moment. I've got Asuka versus Nikki Cross, last woman standing on NXT TV. Holy crap, was that a violent match? It was very, very good. I've got Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate from the UK tournament. Again, can't go wrong with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I've got an Asuka versus Ember Moon from TakeOver Brooklyn. The ladder tag team match from Supercard Honor, which was on Mark's list. Hardys versus Young Bucks. And another one that's on Mark's list, the Fatal 4-Way SummerSlam, Lesnar, Strowman, Joe, Reigns. And yeah, that's all my honorable mentions right there.
All right.
And I think we all have the exact same number one.
I think we all have the exact same number one. I believe we do. So if you guys don't mind muting for a second, I want to just take the floor for this one to begin. Now,
Alrighty.
one of the things about pro wrestling we all love is when you have a classic struggle, good and evil, two wrestlers who absolutely know each other inside and out, and they leave it all in the ring. That's why my pick for the best match of 2017, the November 6th episode of Raw, Jason Jordan versus Elias Sampson, a guitar on a pole match. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course. It is Okada versus Omega 2 from Dominion 611, New Japan's Summer Super Show. You guys can unmute now. Thank you for letting me have that moment. But come on. Was there any doubt? The 6 1/4 star match, the 60-minute time limit draw, the match that ruined both men physically, but gave us everything and proved why these two are 1A and 1B in the business.
Yeah.
They left everything on the canvas at ringside, blood spilled, one wing angel just missed, 4 rainmakers, everything in the middle of the ring, and that time limit draw that just shocked everybody in the arena. Like, what?
The greatest moment was he hit the Rainmaker, went to cover him, and time ran out. You're like, wait, what? What?
Also, with that there, because that's also kind of reverse booking for a time limit draw match. Because you've always got like the challenger, 1, 2, ding, 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 the bell goes, and the challenger has to fall, but the time ran out. Here you've got the champion.
This is from the champion.
Yeah.
Like, the physicality of this match was perfect. The storytelling in the ring was perfect. Like, it was like an Okada-Tanahashi match from 2015 where they know each other so well, they don't even bother feeling each other out for the first few minutes. They just went right to strikes.
Right to striking.
You could take any 8-minute segment of this match, and it's better than 90% of what other federations put out on a weekly basis at their top show or on their top shows. This is why these two are the best in the world, and you can't have an argument of who are the best wrestlers in the world without putting Kazuchika Okada or Kenny Omega at the top. You can put AJ Styles in the conversation, you can put Naito in the conversation, but really it's these two. And this match proved it. And I honestly do have to break one honorable mention that we didn't bring up. Okada Omega 3 from the final night of the G1 Climax. Final one, a B block in the G1 Climax.
The night before.
The night before the final. But that match, honestly, we kind of saw what was coming, that he'd hit the One Wing Angel and finish him off when the title wasn't on the line. But when the belt's on the line, holy God, these two put on clinics. This is why I'm disappointed that even though we're getting 2 great matches with these guys at Wrestle Kingdom, we're not getting the third match there with the belt on the line.
Just wait for it.
Oh my God, what Kenny and Kazuchika did at Dominion in the Osaka-jo Hall, and they left it all in the ring, and they just walked away after that.
They had the crowd so invested, they were quiet.
It was perfect.
Oh yeah. Not only were Jado and Gato a really good tag team in their day back in the 90s, they're also phenomenal bookers. They know how to plan stuff out. I've got all the faith in the world in them that they know where they're going.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fantastic. Take me for the ride.
I said earlier that the only flaw of the first match was that the wrong man won. In this match, it proved to me why I was wrong about that first match. The right man kept the belt, but both men proved for very different reasons that they're the best in the business. They left it. They made the statement.
Both men really, at the end of the match, they left their bodies in that ring. None of them got up. None of them celebrated. You had doctors in there putting ice on their necks, and you really felt that this was 60 minutes of just pure intensity action. And I was happy to go along with the ride for the whole 60 minutes to the point where I had totally forgot that there was a time limit. When the 60-minute bell rang, I was like, wait, what's going on? What? No, I want to see more. They left me wanting more.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, we all had the same number 1, because, come on.
like Kenny Omega, unfortunately, you're too good for your own. You're too great for your own good. I had your match with Naito and your other 3 matches in my top 5. Unfortunately, I had to kick out the number 3 just because I wanted to talk about John Cena and AJ Styles right there, and it deserved to be right there. But like I said, you're too good for your. You're too great for your own good. You cannibalized yourself with a fantastic match with your 3rd match. You guys had just gone an hour. We didn't think you guys could finish a match in 28 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys did.
Yeah.
So it was 45 minutes, an hour, 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but like that time limit draw, just like I was saying, that the last couple of seconds. Rainmaker trying to go for the cover. Not even, like New Japan, you changed the way how, in a simple way, you changed how you book, how wrestling can be booked, and it works so freaking well.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I feel bad for Tanahashi. Like the guy's still great. It's just like unfortunately he's always injured, so he's not at the top of the list anymore. But damn, don't worry, you've done your job in building up.
Over, man.
He did his job building up Omega over those. Sorry, not Omega, Okada over those couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And rest, buddy. You can rest knowing that New Japan is in great hands. Heal up your body. I know your body's really, really beat up now. Rest.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you helped build. Because New Japan's in great hands.
All right, and with that, I think we can cut it off here. And one more thing about that, you guys check out Wrestle Kingdom January 4th as Chris Jericho takes on Kenny Omega, and the main event, Okada versus Naito for the world belt, man. It's gonna be incredible next Thursday. All right.
I think between one of those 2 matches, we're gonna get the first 7-star match.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
All right. So why don't you guys go ahead and plug whatever you guys want to plug real quick, Alex?
Well, me and Alex probably got the same stuff.
I think we pretty much got the same plug. Check us out every week on Full Metal Trivia. We are live pretty much 4 or 5 nights a week with content. We have our multi-person trivia matches. We have our one-on-one call-out matches. We have our Full Metal 5 top countdown show. And starting tomorrow night, I promise it's going to happen, I am debuting our new talk show, Full Metal Faves, on the Full Metal Trivia channel, where we talk about a favorite subject. Tomorrow night, as I promised a couple weeks ago, it's going to be Edgar Wright and his filmography and just everything we love about it.
Ooh, nice. All right, Mark, same things?
Yeah, same things. Me and Alex are partners in Full Metal Trivia. And, of course, the Smalls Bros Trivia. I help them out as best as I can.
Yes, he does.
And check them out. They've got great trivia, the trivia leagues, MMA, pro wrestling, music now, TV. Inner Geekdom matches for when it comes to movies, the geek movies, and then their main movies. Check them out. Competed matches. Follow Smalls Bros on Facebook, and also Full Metal Trivia on Facebook. Sign up. Both leagues will get you a match as soon as we can.
Yep.
And our main goal is in both. You may not be the best at trivia. Just have fun.
Exactly.
Yep. And thank you for that plug, Mark. Yes, check out Schmoes Bros. And like, share, and subscribe to Film Nerd TV. Check out Patreon, patreon.com/FilmNerdTV. And I'm also on Stardust. Just type in Film Nerd TV. All right, I'm Hunter. That's Alex. That's Mark. And we'll see you guys soon. Good night.